If someone accuses you of burying your head in the sand, or if they ask to pick your brain, would you know what they're talking about? Keep your chin up. Do you need to get something off your chest? All of these expressions are so common in day-to-day English. In fact, they're idiomatic expressions, all relating to parts of the body. In today's lesson, I'm going to give you 25 of the most common body idioms. These are really great idiomatic expressions to help you express yourself more clearly, concisely, and really to broaden your language and have a bit more fun with English. So, from our heads to our toes, in today's lesson, we are going to look at 25 idiomatic expressions from hands, arms, elbows, and yes, even feet. Let's get started. Now, before I start with idiom number one, don't forget, do click that subscribe button and of course the notifications bell so you know when we have uploaded new lessons. You can of course follow us on Instagram and Facebook for more mini language lessons with me and Sabra. Let's get started. So, number one, if someone says, do you mind if I pick your brain for a minute about this? Do you mind if I pick your brain for a minute about this? Or do you mind if I pick your brain? You can just keep it that simple. They don't literally want to pick your brain. They are not a zombie, but they simply want to get your opinion, to ask your opinion about a project, an idea, or anything that's going on in their lives, really. Really not very good at English, so do you mind if I just pick your brain about this grammar question? Yeah, sure, go for it. I'm all ears. Wait, I'm getting to that one in just a second. Number two, off the top of my head, I think there's a supermarket that sells that product around the corner, but I'm not sure. So basically, when you say that something is off the top of your head, it means you're giving an answer to a question, to a query, but you haven't done any research or thought about it in too much detail. So, for example, if you were to ask me which online dictionary do I prefer, probably off the top of my head, I'd suggest the Cambridge Dictionary. That's actually one that I've used quite a few times. So when you give an answer without much research or thought, but essentially you're trying to help someone, to give them an answer that they need immediately. Now, if you have your head, or bury, not bury your head in the sand, then essentially you are trying to avoid something. You want to avoid thinking or dealing with a particularly unpleasant situation or problem. It's no good burying your head in the sand. If we do not sort out the problems with this project, then we are going to get fired. You've got to face the facts here. It really looks like he's cheating on you. Why are you burying your head in the sand? So, an expression that we use to say that basically you need to face the truth. You need to stop avoiding the truth. Manage it, deal with it. Don't bury your head in the sand. Number four, if something is eye-catching, then it catches your eye. It's attractive, it gets your attention. Sabra was wearing a particularly eye-catching dress the other day. I thought she looked lovely. It's attention grabbing. Now, if you stick your neck out, if you did it literally, you'd look like this. So a bit ridiculous. But obviously with idioms, we don't need to be literal. If you stick your neck out for someone, then you're taking a risk. You're taking a risk for them, in fact. So you could say, I really stuck my neck out for you, getting you that job interview. You need to make sure that you work hard and do well in the company. So you're taking a risk. If someone that you recommend to your company that you work for gets a job interview, gets the job, but then doesn't work very well, it could potentially reflect badly on you. You could also stick your neck out just by commenting in a meeting, saying something that could potentially be seen as controversial or conflicting with your manager's opinion. You really stuck your neck out there when you offered your opinion, but I think the manager responded quite well. So to take a risk, to risk incurring criticism or anger by speaking boldly, or indeed by helping somebody else, by recommending someone, in the example that I gave you earlier. Now, earlier on, I did say, I'm all ears. I'm all ears. Now, clearly I am not all ears. I only have two. You can actually see them today, how I've tied my hair up. But when you say you're all ears, you're saying to someone, I'm listening. I'm here. I'm ready to listen. I want to hear everything you have to say. So this is a great idiomatic expression when you're really showing enthusiasm and willingness to listen. You're giving someone your full attention. Look, don't worry how long it's going to take. I am all ears. Explain the problem to me and let's see if we can find a solution. Now, number 7, referring to your tongue, okay? If something is on the tip here of your tongue, or can't talk and do that at the same time. If something is on the tip of your tongue, it's actually referring to your memory, to your ability to remember a person's name, for example. Oh, who was that girl I met last night? Really lovely, wearing the yellow dress. Oh, her name is on the tip of my tongue. Sally, Sarah, Sandra. Sandra. So when something is on the tip of your tongue, it is just almost within your grasp for you to remember it. It's there, but you can't quite remember it. You're trying to think to remember better. You are almost able to remember. You just might need a few more seconds. Okay, we've gone from tongue to teeth. This one, a little bit unpleasant, but that kind of is the point of this idiomatic expression. If you describe a situation, something you have to do, as like pulling teeth, okay, pulling them out like a dentist, okay, that's a horrible thought for most of us. But if you say, oh, teaching that class today was like pulling teeth, it means it was particularly unpleasant and not very enjoyable. It was difficult. Getting my students to do their homework on time is like pulling teeth. It is so difficult to do. Now, teeth again, okay, but this time not teeth, but tooth. If you have a sweet tooth, not sweet teeth, a sweet tooth, then you're referring to somebody who, like me, likes a lot of sugary, chocolatey things. I like sugar, okay? I have a sweet tooth. Some people prefer savory, so more pastries, but others that like desserts, cake, ice cream, chocolate, have a sweet tooth. I bought her a box of chocolates for her birthday and she'd finished them by the next day. That girl has such a sweet tooth, I can't believe it. Moving down, chin. Okay, has anyone ever said to you, keep your chin up? Now think about this. A lot of these expressions to do with the body parts kind of make sense. Something is eye-catching, it catches your eye. If you have a sweet tooth, okay, you don't taste the flavours in your teeth, but you get the idea. So if someone says to you, chin up, they are telling you to be more positive. Think about how you actually physically stand when you're sad or depressed or not feeling very positive. Okay, so chin up means come on, be stronger, be positive, things will be okay. It's a great idiomatic expression to try and motivate and support someone. I know you didn't pass your driving test this time, but chin up. Just a couple more lessons and you'll probably pass next time. Number 11, to give someone the cold shoulder. Now, this essentially means that you're cold, you're ignoring them. Perhaps they've been rude to you, they've upset you, and you're giving them the cold shoulder because you want to basically ignore them. I had a massive argument with Sabra the other week, so I'm giving her the cold shoulder. That'll teach her. Not true. We never argue much. When you have problems, where do you feel that you normally store them? This is kind of a little bit of a psychological lesson today. When you have problems, when you're worried, when you're stressed, where do you feel that pressure? Often on your heart, on your chest. So when we say to get something off your chest, this area, we're saying to unburden yourself, to relieve your problems, basically to talk to somebody and share how you feel so your chest doesn't feel so heavy, weighed down with problems, or indeed frustrations. I was so stressed at work that even my boss noticed and asked if there was anything I had to get off my chest. Now, if you say there wasn't even any elbow room, these are your elbows, okay? Elbows. But if there's no elbow room, it means it's very, very crowded. I went to a bar last night and there was no room to move. There was no elbow room. It was crowded. Number 14, to put your finger on something. If you say, I can't quite put my finger on it, I can't quite put my finger on it, it means you can't discover the exact reason why a particular situation is the way it is, or perhaps a feeling that you have, the reason why you have that feeling. For example, I really don't trust that new guy at work. I don't know why. I can't put my finger on it. When there's something wrong, but you just don't know how to explain it or the reason why you feel like that. There's something very strange about that guy, but really, I can't put my finger on it. I wonder what it is. Number 15, to keep someone at arm's length, okay? Yeah, arm's length. Essentially, you're keeping somebody at a healthy distance. I really don't trust that girl at work, but I'm just going to keep her at arm's length until I get to know her a little bit better. Essentially, you don't particularly trust someone or you want to avoid being connected with them, so you keep a distance. Not quite the same as cold shoulder, where you ignore them completely, but just keep someone at a healthy distance to keep them at arm's length. And number 16, quite a simple one, but one that we use so often. If something costs an arm and a leg, it is very, very expensive. Of course, if you had to pay with your arm and your leg, you would see that as being quite a great, significant cost to you. So, as an example, I bought a beautiful dress the other day for the party, but my goodness, did it cost an arm and a leg? I will not be telling my husband. Now, number 17, another one with arm. We often refer to the police as being the long arm of the law. It's a bit weird, isn't it? Yeah, it's a weird expression, but if you do hear it, then at least you understand what they're talking about. Tony was caught by the police for breaking COVID rules during lockdown. He could not escape the long arm of the law. Number 18, if you're willing to give your right arm for something. Now, usually people are right-handed, so we actually rely, I'm right-handed, on our right arm more than our left. Okay, so for example, if I broke my right arm, I would find it very difficult to write neatly or even type very easily with my left hand. So if we say I would give my right arm to go on holiday right now, we're saying that we are desperate for something. We would make any kind of sacrifice to get that thing or achieve that thing. I would give my right arm for a burger right now. Now, number 19, moving on to hands. In fact, handy. If something is handy, essentially it's useful. That's simple. If you say, that's handy, there's a bus stop just down the end of my road. It's so handy to get around the town. Or you can describe a person as being handy, meaning they're very useful. They can do lots of little odd jobs and different things. So handy means useful. It's a great expression and one that we commonly use. Then number 20, of course, we can offer to give someone a hand. Just a hand, not two, and not literally, of course. But when you offer to give someone a hand, you are offering to help them. Oh my goodness, what did you buy at the supermarket? Come on, let me give you a hand with those bags. Let me help you. Now, number 21, if someone is an old hand at something, then they are extensively experienced in that area. Sally's been working in that bakery for years. She's an old hand at making cakes, meaning she's got a lot of experience. Leila and SABRAH have been teaching English for over 10 years. They are definitely old hands at teaching grammar. Now, number 22. If someone says, come on, I'm just pulling your leg, they're not literally pulling your leg. They are joking. They are mocking. They are kidding. They aren't being serious. Perhaps you're trying to persuade someone that something is true when really it's not. Come on, really? Is that your new car? You're pulling my leg. Are you serious? You're getting married? Really? You're not just pulling my leg? Now, number 23, if you have itchy feet, no, you're not going to be scratching your feet. And I'm not even going to try and bend my leg up this way to show you my feet. You simply are eager to travel. You want to go somewhere, to do something. I can't wait to go on holiday. I have got such itchy feet at the moment. I really need to get away. Now, 24, if you are trying to find your feet, it means that you want to become more confident or familiar in a particularly new situation. For example, when you start a new job, it does take a couple of weeks to find your feet, to understand your position in the company and the work you need to do. Or becoming a new parent. It takes quite a while to find your feet and understand how to deal with a crying, pooping, hungry baby. Now, number 25, probably one of my most favourite expressions, to put your foot in it or to put your foot in your mouth. If you say, I put my foot in my mouth again, it's more British English, but American is more likely to be, I put my foot in it, didn't I? It referring to your mouth. Essentially, it means you've said something that you shouldn't have. You've said something by accident that upsets or perhaps embarrasses somebody. I really put my foot in it. I didn't realise she was getting a divorce. I didn't mean to ask about her husband. I can't believe I asked if she was pregnant when she's just put on a few pounds. I really put my foot in it, didn't I? So there we have it, 25 super common idiomatic expressions, all connected with two parts of the body. There was quite a few body parts that we covered there, from head to feet, but there are many, many more. How many more do you know? How many of these were new to you? Do comment below. Either add a new body idiom for everybody else to learn, or indeed try using 1, 2, or even 3 of these ones that I have just shared. Remember, personalising the language is going to help you remember these idiomatic expressions so they're not just on the tip of your tongue. That's not where you want them. You want them here. Thanks so much for watching. I look forward to seeing you very soon with, yes, more idioms. If that's what you want, comment below and let me know. What kind of idiomatic expressions would you like to learn next?